Yes, and I'm going to start the live event. Will officially be live. Uh, Hello, everybody on the internet who is not watching, because it's too early. But all the people that are watching this afterwards, because the only people.
So this is going to your YouTube?
Yeah, Rebelli TV.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see, what is the click the link? Look at the flick of the link.
I just see a red box. Does that mean that you subscribe to YouTube Red? If so, how does it work?
It's okay. It's all right. No ads, which is awesome.
Well,
I will say that.
Means
Also, I got the trial. It actually, on my phone, it will still play your videos in the background, which is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, it's gonna switch scenes.
But I'm only doing the trial, so after the 30 days, that'll be done. But it's not bad. It's really not bad.
I only think about getting it when I get that 30-second unskippable ad, and I'm like, motherfucker!
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it's for.
Yep.
And I had always known that they knew a way where I could open up YouTube on my phone and then go do something else on the phone. I knew that there was a way
It's been around
that they
for
could play it
quite
in
a
the
bit.
background.
It was around for a bit. Like, I had it before YouTube Red. It was something that I was able to do on the Android for a little while on YouTube Red. Before YouTube Red. But I guess it was something that they now announced and where people, I guess, rolled out as a feature.
Now we're going to make you pay for the thing that you knew we could do. Ha ha!
Yeah. But I like the idea of it being a little bit more lucrative. From what I hear, more lucrative to the people you actually watch, as far as rather than ads.
That is important.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. What is the thing? What is the thing? Everything's there. My soundboard is here. That was the thing I was doing. Real quick. All right. Wait, what was it? Okay. Theme intro. Theme. Open.
Hit record, Brian.
I remembered to hit record this time before. I didn't have to record from the YouTube YouTube thing.
Oh, I had to do that a few times with A3K, but that was only because the audio was not good.
Yeah. All right.
One of the rare times where Google Hangouts audio was the best recording.
Yeah. All right. Okay, somewhere changed. Yes. Oh wait, I didn't want to.
Thanks for being patient, guys.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Why did it close? The hell! The hell! I need my soundboard.
Nah, you don't need that.
I was gonna launch like 3 of them. Okay, there it is. Oh, yeah. Fanny Pack Wrestling is a proud member of Diamond Club and the Freaking Awesome Network.
What is it that you're trying to do?
At
What's going on?
diamondclub.tv and there you go. I was just trying to get the thing so I can play the sounds. All right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, we're all set. Yeah. There you go. All right, I'm all ready. Everybody else ready? You all
Hit
ready
the
for
button.
this?
Do the thing. Let's make internet.
Let's make internet. Let's make the thing.
Let's create content.
Yes. Let's make mistakes and learn from them
Right?
and grow to be better. All right. Fanny Pack Wrestling in 3, 2, 1. Fanny Pack Wrestling is a proud member of Diamond Club and the Freaking Awesome Network. Check out more great content at diamondclub.tv and freakingawesomenetwork.com. Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to the Fanny Pack Wrestling Podcast. I'm Petey Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me, as always, is my tag team partner, my brother from another father and mother, David Jeffrey Majors, aka DJM. How you doing, Deej?
Gluten-free Tog, Petey Rave. What's up, everybody? The good ship Fanny Pack rides once again. And this week, we are making our way towards a level of excellence. Tell him, Petey.
We're going to talk about Excellence Pro Wrestling from Pennsylvania. Before we get into detail of the event, we have a couple of guests. We have a couple of fantastic guests. We have somebody who ran into DJM at Dragon Con, said, "Hey, I want to be on the show," and then it took us like, I don't know, 6 months.
Well, see, what it happened is that, well, I guess for those that don't know, I lost my home in a fire.
Yeah.
And, yeah, a bunch of other stuff happened. So we're doing this podcast again. But forget all of that. Please welcome from the Offenders Podcast, Mr. Evan Jones. Evan, thanks for coming on, and thanks for remembering us.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for waiting on me to get all my shit together. I'm just your friendly neighborhood straight edge guy here to make bad jokes and hopefully make some people laugh and talk about wrestling. It's a pleasure.
You're going to fit in.
Yes.
Just fine, I assure you.
Not the only straight edge guy I have ever podcasted with. Shout out to Drew.
Hell yeah.
And
Home team.
also joining us on the show, all the way from the great state of Texas, Remi, also known as Michelle. What's going on, Michelle? Thanks for coming on.
I'm good. I've never been on a podcast before.
You're doing great already.
That's okay. You already
Yay.
got the hardest part is already out of the way, the intro. The rest is just talking and blathering about whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
you already got
Good.
the hard part out of the way. So,
Yes.
Petey, let's just jump into the wrestling show, shall we?
Yes. Excellence Pro Wrestling, Excellence Professional Wrestling out of PA. Here's the interesting thing. So, a little bit behind the curtain, I tend to be the one that picks out a lot of the shows unless Deej pokes at me and says, "Hey, let's do this." And I usually pick them out of interest, something that piques my interest, either browsing on SmartMark Video. And the reason I picked this promotion is because I noticed that it had a lot of the guys, and it seemed to be connected to Chikara Pro Wrestling and a couple of the people in that verse, the Chikara verse. We're talking. So it's Pennsylvania wrestling. It's it's out of Sellersville, Pennsylvania. And if you can
What a
imagine,
wrestling town name.
yes, if you can imagine a wrestling show out of Sellersville, Pennsylvania, this is that show. The show is
Oh, is it?
check, please. Because following along Excellence Professional Wrestling's theming for their events has been through the course of an order. So there's been like first course. I think there was main course, and then like tiramisu, and then this was check please. And after this event, the following event was 20% gratuity, uh, which is fantastic. But yeah, Excellence Professional Wrestling, a local wrestling event, if there ever was one. Um, I'll start with you, Evan. What expectations did you have, like when I just threw a wrestling event at you without giving you any preface?
Excitement because uh, I don't watch a whole lot of indie wrestling. Most of my stuff is New Japan and then NXT and occasionally SmackDown when it doesn't suck. So I was just going in like awesome. A whole bunch of people that I don't know. It could be awesome. It could be terrible. Even if it's terrible, I can laugh at it. And it turned out to be pretty fucking good.
Evan, just in general, with like some of the people on the roster for this show, like from Chikara or Ring of Honor, did any of them all ring a bell?
Uh, I'm trying to think. One of the women, I think Donna, just made it to
Deanna
NXT.
Purrazzo,
Did
yeah.
she?
Deanna
You know?
Morrazzo, yeah.
Yeah.
Word is she
I've heard.
just got signed to NXT.
And I noticed a couple of them looked like they should have been in Chikara with all the masks, and I think Wicked had been there before. But yeah, a couple of faces I've recognized or masks, I guess.
Yes.
Shell, going into this with Excellence Pro Wrestling, was there anybody on this show, same question as Evan, either from Ring of Honor or Chikara that you might have recognized, or did you see anybody that you might have caught on to?
No, but I work like 45 to 50 hours a week, so I don't watch too much. I do watch some NXT sometimes when I can catch it, and but no, but I do like in Texas, in my hometown, and in Midland, Odessa area, like 2 hours away. They have their own indie wrestling, so I go to those a lot.
What's the name of the promotion? Let's give them some love.
The Midland Odessa one is OSW.
Hmm.
Have we had them?
Wrestling.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we've done. Unfortunately, I don't think we've done a Texas promotion. I know I've had my eyes on Anarchy Championship Wrestling, but
Yeah,
Odessa,
they're good. They're really good.
Yeah.
They're in Austin, obviously, of course.
Yes. And Odessa, we might check them out. I'm checking out any promotion. I'll give them all a shot because
Yeah,
you never know till
PD,
you never
PD.
know if you like it until you try it.
PD, we might have to talk about the whole PD choosing random promotions gimmick. We might have to talk.
It's not random.
We
I do
might have to talk about it. But before that, let's jump into this show.
Yes. Check please. But it's not over. It's just the beginning. We start off with a name some might notice and some might be familiar with if they follow Ring of Honor. Cheeseburger taking on Excellence Professional Wrestling favorite Danger Jameson, the stuntman, the death-defying stuntman of Excellence Professional Wrestling, Danger Jameson. Cheeseburger, Deej, you're a little bit more familiar with Cheeseburger. I know he's teamed with, I believe, trained by Brutal Bob Evans.
He is trained by Brutal Bob. He is a graduate of the ROH Wrestling Academy under Delirious, and he is known for being supposedly, and I actually confirmed this, Chris Jericho's current favorite wrestler. That is, as they said on commentary, 100% legit. And also, he has received the admiration of one Jushin Thunder Liger and has adopted the signature Shote palm strike of the legendary junior heavyweight. Cheeseburger, also most recently in Ring of Honor's tour in Japan, sold out his merchandise.
Yes.
I'm not making that up.
Yes. That's
So
awesome.
here we have Cheeseburger having huge success with ROH and doing well for himself in Japan somehow, to having this opening contest with Danger Jameson, the stuntman.
Yes. First impressions. Evan, what was your first impression of the show and then as we started to get into this match?
Well, the first thing I noticed was Danger Jameson's proud French flag wristbands. And it's always a ballsy move to go the nationality route these days. But I thought it was nice of him, to be French, unless it was just American and he got the color scheme wrong. But it was a lot of fun. I completely forgot. I saw Cheeseburger at a local Atlanta. I'm in Georgia. I saw him at a local Atlanta Ring of Honor thing, and I'm not kidding. I think he actually floats when he jumps in the air. I think he may manipulate, perhaps through Liger's training, some sort of like anti-gravity. But I've noticed that he is very light in the air as he goes up and comes down. It's amazing.
Doesn't have a lot of body
Petey?
mass, that guy.
Petey, I will say Cheeseburger is lighter and smaller than I am.
Yes. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it on him. It's pretty fantastic. Remy, what was your impression going into? What was your first impressions of this match?
Well, I guess it's always a good. I don't know. I like they called out and it was like cheeseburger. I was like, cool. So that was neat. And then like he had like a burger hat thing, and I was all, well, this is gonna be fun. And it
Yes.
was.
Yeah.
So,
Just for a little bit of background on Cheeseburger and how he got his name, while he was training at the ROH Wrestling School, none other than Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, the world's greatest tag team, who were on the Ring of Honor roster at the time, they gave him a lot of crap for being so thin, and it was Charlie Haas that said he needs to eat a cheeseburger. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yes.
Petey, this opening contest, I've always said that on a wrestling show, the opening contest, the opening match, is and can be the most important match on the show next to the main event. What did you think of this opening contest with its stunt work?
Yes. It was interesting. There were parts of it that kind of seemed a little odd and out of place. Right at the beginning, like I couldn't quite follow the whole ref getting inspection by the other ref and then him having worn the wrong socks. I think it was a good bit, maybe executed a little awkwardly.
Petey, I'm just going to go ahead and check that as number one on this is a really local indie checklist.
Yes.
So I'm just going to make that as number one on this is a really local indie. And for the indie wrestling fans out there that see bigger companies and then go to your local indie companies, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
This is my first on this show.
Yes. Yeah, there was a lot of interesting moments in this match. What did you guys think? What was any other impressions on the opening contest?
Is it okay to discuss the ending yet, or are we waiting on
Sure,
that?
go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Well, I noticed through my keen eyesight, his palm strike actually through sheer force of will is what knocked him out.
Yes.
The hand never actually touched the chin, if you will, if
The
you
hand
will.
of God.
And it was like a chi blast just rocketed him back. And I was like, damn, what kind of training are they going through to do chi blast for real? It's like I'm playing a video game. And also, another thing that I
Well,
noticed.
to be fair, Evan, he did learn from an actual anime character in Jushin
Yeah.
Liger.
Raiga! Dude, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I always pay attention to really dumb, small things. There is an excellent view of everybody who went to the bathroom at that main camera angle. Did you see that?
Specifically the ladies' bathroom, yeah. I can see the
And I
ladies'
was-
bathroom is all opposite hard cam side.
Number
that's gotta
two.
be so embarrassing because it's like I didn't think anybody saw that. And I got a 3 bathroom count. I don't know if I missed any, but I got at least
There
3
was quite a few. There was quite a few. Also, I'm not going to count them all as being number 2. I'm for sure there's a few number 1s in there. But that's beside the point.
Well, if you believe in yourself, you're always number 1.
Yes. Or maybe it's a number 3. You never know.
Gross.
Yeah. And Evan, you
I
were
learned-
worried about this being a serious podcast, Evan.
I was totally scared. Speaking of which, one last thing I want to mention. I don't know if the announcer actually made up a new word or if he just fucked up, but he said the word protitioned. and my brain kind of stopped there for a while. He was like, "The committee has petitioned." I was like, "Is that like prostituting? Is that a petition? What is going on?" And do you guys know if that's a thing that I just don't know because it's like
I
part
don't
of
know.
their
Maybe
thing?
it's
I don't
Pennsylvania
know.
dialect. I don't know.
I'm well, you hear a lot about the state of Pennsylvania with professional wrestling and the state athletic commission. So maybe it's one of those things that they have to deal with. There's like all of the promotions in Pennsylvania, they have to go through the state athletic commission. Maybe it's one of those things. I don't know. I just got here. What are you, a cop?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to learn. Let us know out there what protition means. Maybe I can find it on Urban Dictionary. But that being said, we move on to the next contest. Death defying stunts aside, move on to the next contest. We have the pairing of Argus, the Gecko Roman wrestler and member of the Snake Pit, teaming with. That's true. Teaming with from the Cretaceous period, Lucha Raptor, taking on the
Which is
team
historically accurate, by the way. The
fair to
Velociraptor
them.
was part of the Cretaceous period of the age of the dinosaurs.
So good on them for accuracy's sake. Taking on the team of Sloppy Joe and the assistant chef Smooth Blackman, which that is just an amazing name. The team being Too Many Cooks.
I'm already deducting points from these guys for naming themselves after a joke that died about 2 weeks after it started.
Yeah, in all fairness. Plus using the theme, using the song as the theme.
Yeah.
I will say Lucha Raptor was billed from the accurate period, but they did use the Jurassic Park theme. Instead of the theme they should have picked, which is Clever Girl by the Double Clicks. Rawr, Velociraptor.
Couldn't they just had him walk the dinosaur, Petey?
That's true.
Everybody walk the dinosaur.
Holy shit! I forgot about that song.
But anyway, jumping in, Petey, Argus is yet another student of the Chikara Wrestle Factory, under the guise of the greatest mind in the world, Lightning Mike Quackenbush. So something tells me Argus was the ring general of this tag team contest. Evan, what did you think of this one?
Well, first off, I wanted to congratulate Lucha Raptor was his name.
Lucha Raptor.
He's actually either a great sorcerer or a shapeshifter, because I noticed when he walked to the ring, he was definitely a raptor. And then a few minutes later, he seemed to be a normal luchador. And what kind of wizardry that is just beyond me. But he actually did a really good job. And personally, I thought Argus's mask was awesome. And what else was there? Now, Too Many Cooks. Say what you will about their gimmick, but myself as an anime fan, as soon as I saw that big spatula, I thought of Ukyo from Ron Mahalf, and that totally just made my day watching it.
I'm okay with this. Ice Bear is not entirely opposed.
Yes, yes. Yes. Remy,
Shell, what did you think?
Well, okay, first of all, when I heard the Jurassic Park theme going, I lost it. I was like, okay. There were a few times where, during the match, I got scared because it looked like somebody was gonna, I guess, botches and stuff. I was like, oh, please be careful. So.
yeah, which is understandable. You
Yeah.
get a little worried, which is understandable. But luckily, nothing untoward, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Everybody walked away safe and sound. But overall, kind of a fun match. Overall, a fun match, I think. Would you say, Deej? It had its fun moments.
This was okay. However, I couldn't get past the fact that Too Many Cooks at the beginning of the match, they couldn't even get their handshake right at the beginning.
They got the high five. I think somebody needs to teach Smooth Blackman.
These guys need to learn a
elbow.
thing or two from the soul touches, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they need.
You gotta look at the elbow. You gotta have your eye on the elbow. And get Ryan Carmichael's taught me that. Calgar Curtis. Look at the elbow. Uh, and tag team contest went through, had fun. Brought us into the next contest. Which is an interesting moment. A couple of guys that I think none of us are familiar with here. Uh,
I imagine that these are what you would describe as Excellence Pro Wrestling stars. Excellence Pro Wrestling faithful are probably big fans of them, but for everybody else, nah. And we got to see Dan Champion take on Ken Broadway. Petey,
Cash
I
Flow
only
Ken Broadway.
whatever. I wrote 3 words for this. Simply 3 words. Local as fuck. Again, there's nothing wrong with supporting your local indie wrestling promotions. Everyone should do it. But this was like the most local indie is local moment of the show for me. I had no idea who these guys are. The commentary team did the best they could with telling the story, but I looked at Dan Champion and I saw a dude that probably believed he was going to be in a much higher place at this point in terms of wrestling, and then Ken Broadway was just kind of there. Shell, what did you think?
Well, I guess I suppose you're probably a good heel if like you have little kids booing at you, and I forgot what they were. I forgot what they were chanting. It was like you can't do it, Dan, or Dan can't do it, or something.
You can't win. I don't even remember.
I don't remember, but I was like, so yeah. I was like, well, they know who they are. They're making chants and booing him. So.
By the way, again, moment for indie wrestling, a local indie moment for this match. The telling a silent crowd to shut up.
That's what I was saying. It was like only the little kids were like the only ones really
They weren't even
giving
saying anything
reaction.
at that point. It's like silence. Walks out. It's like everybody shut up. It's like
This is the guy that knows he's the heel and he's just doing heel things.
it's like okay, like you walk out and the crowd is silent. You don't tell them to shut up. It's like I know you're trying to make them get louder and boo you. But you do that when they're kind of booing you and you're trying to, stoke the fire. It's like you don't, you don't poke a hot poker into cold logs. Is what I'm trying to say. You don't poke a poker into cold logs. Is what I'm trying to say.
Not without protection.
No. You find there's usually a small flame and then you stoke it until it gets bigger.
Now, a gentleman in the next match, Petey, probably needed to protect himself a lot more.
Well, I will say, Evan, I don't know if you had thoughts. I
had a transition, Petey.
Sorry.
You gotta let me have those, or I'll explode on the inside. You gotta let me have the
segues. Get a chance to shit on the match.
Hey, thanks, man.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Well, in honor of the sacrifice transition, I also will say 3 things. Number 1, I popped so good when he walked out and knocked that dude's fucking hat off because he got real mad. That was like, I know it's a cheap heel move, but it gets me every time because it's such a shitty little thing to do. Number 2 was first off, did any of you expect this to go for like 60 minutes and there be a draw because of the name of the guy was Ken Broadway?
Oh, God.
But that aside, although he had the most ginger elbow strikes, loving, gentle elbow strikes I had ever seen, he had a fucking badass guile flash kick that he did, and that made me happy. And also, speaking of Street Fighter, this is my last point. They mentioned the word Akuma, so suddenly I went, oh! And I was ready for somebody to just fly across the ring and then the 10 sign come up and just destruction, but there was no Akuma. So I was like, what the fuck? I mean, is he like Dan Severn now? Is he pro wrestling? Did he get tired of beating Ryu and everybody? But that just blew my mind. I was like, I didn't expect to hear Akuma or see a flash kick, so I actually didn't mind it that much.
To this date, only Kenny Omega has shown traces of Satsui no Hado in professional wrestling.
Yes.
Of course, we're talking about now that we've transitioned over to Grand Akuma taking on Rembrandt Lewis.
PD, I gotta say, Gran Akuma is a Gen 1 Chikara original. He was part of the first Chikara class. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Oh, I mean, he's
He was
teaching people.
Gran Akuma was all kinds of awesome during like the golden age of indie wrestling in the mid 2000s. He was I hate to say this, he was white low key and he was awesome. And well, it's just time has passed and now he's wrestling guys like Rembrandt Lewis, who I will give a point for coming out to Purple Haze.
Yes.
But otherwise, this dude is, as they say in the business, the shits. And guys, I don't know. I saw a few moments in this match where Rembrandt Lewis wasn't really bringing his game. And Gran Akuma, he started turning into angry veteran.
Yes.
And it started to get kind of bad.
Yeah.
Because Rembrandt Lewis was not very good.
Yeah. No.
I think the one, I don't know why, the first thing that I noticed, and it was, once again, I just noticed all the little funny things. Like, that's what sticks out. He comes out to Purple Haze, and then he's in the ring, and then he's writing, I guess because he wrote on paper.
He drew
I don't know.
something. He did a little
Yeah,
doodle.
he was writing, and there's like a random kid that's like, "Where'd you get that pen?" Like, it's dead silent, but the kid says that, and I'm all like, you could have said anything, or you could have asked, but you asked, "Where'd you get the pen?" And then that was the, I don't know why that, like, I guess.
As you can see, the fans were really engaged at this show.
Yes. Oh,
Let's yell about his pen.
Also acceptable would have been, is that a bar napkin?
It probably was. They probably just got it from over there at the concession booth, or concession booth.
Which every local indie show has.
Oh,
Yes.
And they're all the same.
Yes.
Kroger brand
hot
sodas.
Hot Cheetos with cheese
Yeah.
and Little Caesar's pizza or Domino's.
Or hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which shout out to Beyond Wrestling, who has Championship Melt, a food truck. A wrestling themed food truck that has like I think grilled cheese and some really cool stuff, like food truck stuff, which is cool. So shout out to them.
But yeah, Gran Akuma deserves better than this.
Yes. Oh yeah. I did.
One thing, if possible.
Go ahead, Evan. Go ahead.
Gran Akuma was super badass. He was great. He did a bunch of interesting submission holds. He had a cool nipple Ric Flair slap at the beginning that looked like it really hurt. It was right on the nipple. I went back to make sure. And but the thing that I noticed the most was earlier you mentioned that he may have gone grizzled veteran on him. And you can tell because at one point he kicked the shit out of Rembrandt, and Rembrandt went, "Ooh!" You could see it all over his face. That was one of the best facials I've ever seen, like ever, because you have to sell that with your face. And boy, I don't think he meant to sell it. I think he actually just kicked the absolute shit out of his spinal column.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be honest. Probably Gran Akuma held a little back a little bit. Like I think in the back of his mind, like there was a voice. There was like that old veteran voice in the back of his mind. It's like, I gotta stretch this kid. I gotta stretch the fuck out of this kid. Like, and then he held back. Like he gave him a good stiff kick maybe, and then just kind of like, all right, let me work with this kid. And it's a new era. It's a new time. It's not the old days.
And honestly, I can't say Gran Akuma would have been wrong in this. I don't think he would have been wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Gran
it's all a
Akuma
matter
deserves
of-
better than this.
Also,
Petey,
somebody
can we make that the show title?
Gran Akuma deserves better. I will write it down. Also, somebody needs to buy Dr. Frank a belt.
I was just about to say that. The moon came out at that show. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah, that was
I
terrible.
was like, what is going on?
At first, I thought it was part of the gimmick. I thought he was supposed to be like a stupid doctor, but then I just realized that's just some dude from Pennsylvania who has the wrong size pants.
Local indie.
Local indie as fuck. Like, yeah. I mean, seriously, you gotta buy the right pants. It's that problem of like the fat guys that fat white dudes have no ass. So
That's true. I don't have a butt at all.
yeah, like, and then like you combine it with being fat, and then like, God's bless them, but you gotta get a belt. Like
Yep.
every time I wear pants, no matter what, I wear a belt. I wear shorts that have belt loops. I wear a belt, like literally. I have basketball shorts. It doesn't have a belt, but you know what it does have? Strings.
A string.
Yes.
That you can pull and make tighter.
You
That's
can
what they have
pull,
on.
make tight.
That's what they have on sweatpants too. ladies
There's
and
also
gentlemen.
the undershirt. You can always pull a long shirt down and tuck it in your pants. That's one of my favorite moves.
Seriously, this goes out to Dr. Frank and everybody at every convention ever. Just that's a message to everybody at conventions ever. Just
Wear a belt.
Yep.
exactly. But yes, moving on to tag team action. We had and I guess impromptu for the moment, meant to happen at another given time, or they said they introduced it at the moment as an impromptu tag match. But that was preceded by a promo by Matt Sells, who
Oh, that was his name, because I could have sworn it was Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
He was wearing denim. He had blonde. He came out to Motley Crue.
I was gonna say Dollar Store Michael Hayes, but Dolph Ziggler works better.
Also, Cubic Zirconium Austin Page.
Yes,
Ooh.
I was gonna say Dollar Store DDP, but yeah,
Yes.
Austin Page. Fort Worth Page, better.
Yeah.
The name that gets forgotten. But yeah, Matt Sells came out to tell us who he is. Rightfully, I give him credit. He at least acknowledged the fact that some of the people in the audience didn't know who the hell he was.
Yeah.
At least there's that. Like, at least he says, like, hey, some of you might not know who I am. My name is Matt Sells. This is what I've been through. This is kind of me saying, you know, I'm making
I got
my
injured.
statement. I got injured. I'm making a statement that I'm going to make this year mine when I come back. I've been through some tough times, but I'm going to, go out there. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to conquer. I'm going to make it, make my career. At least it wasn't like he was assuming that people know who he was. At least he gave a little bit of context. And that led to One Night Only, the team of Anthony Gangone and Mark Quinn. One Night Only.
Who came out to Nirvana, so we're just going from the 80s to the 90s.
Exactly.
So I was expecting, I don't know, Tesseract later.
To
Somebody.
Nirvana, like an album B-side cut in Breed. Like Breed of all songs.
Paper cuts.
Yeah, deep cuts. I mean, I know the song, but I'm
But the
weird.
tag team match, PD.
The tag team match. They came out there and they attacked old Michael P.S. Hayes, Matt Sells, and out to defend him. The theme that was called out and talked about on the show, in the promo, the team of the Silent Assassin, Nick the Silent Assassin, and Ariella Nix, and yeah. So Nick is a upcoming wrestler, who his thing that he is battling through is that he is living with cerebral palsy. It is not. I'm not gonna say it's a thing. It's just that is what he's battling through, and he's overcoming and to become a wrestler. And his tag team partner is Ariella Nix, who's coming in the ring as inexperienced and showing it. But that's fine. Yeah, it's a tag team contest. I don't know, Deej.
Yeah, PD. This is the part of the show where I was really saying, okay, later on, I'm going to have to talk to PD about what shows he's picking out.
Hey,
Because I'd have to raise our game a little bit on the old good ship fanny pack.
Yes.
Might have to raise the level of quality just tad.
Yes. But yeah, I'll start with you, Evan. What did you think of the tag team contest and the shenanigans that happened leading up to it?
Well, given the nature of one night only or whatever they're called being heels, thought it was a bit of a low blow to make fun of somebody for having cerebral palsy, but I understand what they were going at. Other than that, I thought that as a man who has long hair, the fucking little cinnamon bun he had going on looked
Man bun.
ridiculous. It was,
Wasn't
this
a
is my
proper
thing.
man bun.
Uh,
Uh,
sh- Remy, what's your take on the man bun?
Uh, I kind of like them. I don't know. It's weird. They have
If
to.
if if the guy's hot, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can be honest.
Well, okay.
That's fine. That's
Well,
fine.
no,
It's
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 like
okay.
it's gotta be kind of a messy bun. Like it can't be. I don't know. I've done it
He's
to
a bad
my
boy.
friend. My friend, he used to have really long hair, and when I went to visit, I was like, I'm just going to put your hair in a man bun, messy bun, and it looked fantastic. So I think some people can pull it off.
And it
So, but
feels
I mean,
great when
Fair
it's
enough.
being put in too, like
but
because
I
I
mean,
get
if
that all the time.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, just to go off on a little bit of a rant. Are you at all familiar with Toshiro Mifune or any old samurai films? Any of you?
Oh yes.
It's
Oh,
a
yes.
it's a fucking chonmage. It's a top knot. You wear it up here, right? That's cool because that's showing homage to all the old great warriors. But if it's just like,
That's not what these guys are doing.
yeah, that's my point. It's like if you want to do it right. But other than that, the only thing that I noticed was the tights for one night only looked like the video game box art for an unlicensed Nintendo game because it was like the fucking stupidest patterns and worst colors that I had seen from the whole event. That's it.
Yes. The tights.
Wonderfully indie.
Yes,
Yeah.
wonderfully indie. And God's bless Nick the Silent Assassin. He did have the unfortunate pattern right on his rear end, maybe kind of a star pattern. Just, just not the best place to put something like that. Just as a heads up. Just, yeah, no. But yeah, moving on from this contest, we get the aforementioned Diana Perazzo in women's action against the debuting in Excellence Professional Wrestling Vanity. A couple ladies going at it in some wrestling action, singles action. Diana Perazzo, I wasn't familiar with because I hadn't seen her like showcase matches on NXT, but I know that she was there in like losing efforts. Of course, it's kind of like as you would say in the olden days, enhancement talent. Uh, but that she has apparently recently got a contract there, which is cool to see. I mean, and then we get Vanity. I don't know, Deej, what's your context? What's your take on this?
I had seen a little bit of Deanna Morrazzo before this, and after hearing her name being thrown around as being signed by NXT, so I had seen her in the ring as a talent, and it was like, okay, she's solid overall. But I will say, watching this match, I was really impressed by Vanity. This was her debut match in Excellence Pro Wrestling, and I thought the match overall was a pretty good back and
I
forth.
liked it.
I really liked Vanity. I thought she
It
was really
better
good.
than the last match.
Yeah, well,
By
it's
far,
not a high
like-
bar, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of checked out at some points. I was like, "This is
Yeah.
that looks really messed up." And then this match happened, and I got focused again. So,
Leave it to ladies to get the train back on track. Girl power.
Go ahead, Evan. What did you think about this one?
Well, the file that I downloaded, there was something wrong with it because like it just kind of went blue, and it could have been that my computer didn't have the right filter or whatever. But it came in about the part where Vanity had Deanna in the leg scissors, so that's where I started the match. And from there on out, it was good. And I actually, at first, I thought it was cheerleader Melissa because I didn't recognize Deanna. because she kind of looks like back in TNA when she was I think it was
Alyssa
Future
Flash.
Legend. Yeah, Future Legend.
Alyssa
Alyssa
Flash. Yes. Yeah,
But,
I can see that. I definitely see that.
yeah, because it was a very similar outfit. But as for the match itself, I liked it. It was really good. There was some good transitions. There was lots of. I'm a big sucker for submission holds. So anytime you go and hold a lock, I really appreciate that. And it was good. Yeah, they both did solid work.
Yeah, and that was really cool to see because I didn't have a lot of notes because there wasn't a lot of silly, funny things that happened. It was just a really good match. Like,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
it wasn't much to make fun of, which is really cool. And I look forward to Deonna Purrazzo doing things at NXT, which is cool. Like,
And
and
I will say that I hope that Vanity is someone that starts getting a few more bookings because I was
Yeah.
really impressed by her showing. I really liked her.
yeah, yeah, which is
Cool.
And
I'm
best of
looking
luck to
forward
Deanna Morrazzo.
Yes, best of luck to these ladies. Really impressed, and transitioned us to more names from the Gen 1 original class list, graduation list.
And Petey, here is where it started to dawn on me, where I finally understood exactly what Excellence Pro Wrestling is meant to be.
Yes.
Excellence Pro Wrestling is an indie company in Pennsylvania that various members of the Chikara roster can go to and get bookings without Mike Quackenbush getting weird about it and having them change their gimmick or be somebody else that isn't, Chikara exclusive. So, yeah, we started seeing I'm starting to see that Excellence Pro Wrestling is one of those local indie companies that Mike Quackenbush probably doesn't feel threatened by. So, yeah, a whole bunch of Chikara originals all over this show, and including Chikara Gen 1 original Blind Rage, back
Yes.
from the dead, because that's his
Again.
gimmick.
And again.
And one of the guys of the class of Chikara that I believe is just overall one of the most underrated guys in wrestling, Hallowicked. Absolutely awesome performer. And taking on Havoc and Smiley.
It was
One
a
thing that
four-way-
I noticed, PD, I caught on to
Yes.
this. Everything about this gave me just that tiny bit of Chikara fan service, complete with Hallowicked coming out to his old White Zombie theme,
Yes.
which was like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I imagine because he doesn't get to use the the Chikara themes anywhere else. But yeah, that's just good old feels on that part. And seeing Blind Rage, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. I don't know about you, but wasn't it weird seeing Blind Rage with hair? I don't know. I think I think it's just because lately I've been seeing him with the bald and like all of the when he was in his last run in Chikara, but it just kind of came out of nowhere maybe because
Well, he's not around very often.
Yeah.
He kind of comes in and out, but yeah, I get where you're coming from.
yeah, it was weird. I mean, I guess he's probably been in hair with hair multiple times, but it just I basically I guess because I'm in my mind I'm thinking of him as like in that last run when like when the most recent run in Chikara.
Evan, what did you think of this match? Blind Rage Hallowicked against Havoc and Smiley.
Well, my exposure to Chikara is very small. I've only seen a couple matches, but I loved everything that I saw because it's very anime style wrestling, which is what I love. But Blind Rage, I had never seen him before, and to me, he just kind of seemed like he was some guy who happened to work at this indie fed, and it was just like paint him up like a skull and get him out there because he's just kind of standing around and he didn't really do a whole lot. On the other hand, Smiley, I am a 100% fan of Smiley. Number one,
I
because
love him.
yeah, because like I'm a super happy dude, and he's a super happy dude, and he looks like Iron Fist, which is one of my favorite comics. So he was all over the place. But by far, my favorite part of the whole match, just quick plug, Obituary, one of the greatest bands ever. The dude, Hallowicked, said some straight up death metal lyrics. He was like, "Go feast on the flesh of that dog." And I was like, yeah!
Nazmaldun commands it.
Yeah, man, that was like the high point of the whole match for me. That like not even getting into all of the amazing acrobatics and cool, reversals and stuff, but just saying that out loud was very Japanese, because over there everybody yells out everything because it's quiet, and for him to do that I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's definitely that influence. I imagine filters in through the Wrestle
He is the
Factory.
Nightmare Warrior.
Yeah.
The Japanese
Uh,
comic book and anime influence is definitely that's the Wrestle Factory thing.
That's pure concentrated Chikara.
Yes, yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, I need more of that in my life.
Get that, you know, base.
Remy, what did you think of this one?
Free base it.
I loved when Smiley and Wicked they teamed up because
Yeah.
it just it flowed so well. Like it was like when they were teaming up, I was like, yes, against Havoc. He was just there. So, but I loved,
Taz Jr. I called him.
but I loved it. Like I don't know. I've never heard of Smiley before, but I after seeing that match, it's like I like him. So like I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of fangirled out. I was like, oh yay!
That two mask gimmick was awesome, where he took off the mask and had another mask. Thumbs up.
Yes. Another Yushin Thunder Liger like influence. That's
Yep,
what he
true.
did when he became that whole other beast.
Another reason why I'm pretty clear Mike Quackenbush is perfectly okay with this company.
Yes. And I'm definitely Smiley is somebody I've noticed before. I think I've seen the name and the face before on other promotions. I just haven't sat down and watched something with him in it, and he's pretty fantastic. But yeah, Hollow Wicked and Blind Rage on a nice little four-way, which had
People should book Hollow Wicked more. He's
Yes.
awesome.
maybe he can cut like 7 pounds and he can be part of that Cruiserweight World Series.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be so awesome.
It was a good
he
heel
could-
win too, because he pulled the tights, so it's like Smiley didn't really look like he lost for real. It was a good heel move. I was impressed by that.
Yeah, and it was a nice moment. You know, it was like it was a nice. I did like. I don't know if anybody caught that. I did like that they were building up the story of it being the winner of those two being like in first place for like the championship series, because they're all trying to get 10 wins to qualify for the big championship tournament. So that's I was able to glean that from little tidbits of information throughout the show. I don't know if that wasn't quite spelled out really well, but there was a little information. So I like that was part of the storyline. That wasn't quite explained fully, but yeah, I was able to pick that out. But then we get into the main event. A couple of guys that you will know if you know Chikara, especially in the past few years. A couple of interesting names in a no DQ match. We had the Proletariat Boar of Moldova, which is fantastic, taking on
A personal favorite of mine, Oleg the Usurper.
Yes. And it was a no DQ match. And of course, Oleg, knowing it was a no DQ match, went out briefly and then went back into the back and returned with a sword, with a long sword.
Yes.
Yeah. It's no DQ.
It's like, I can do anything, right? It's like, I can do anything, right? and it
I
makes
love
you
that.
think,
That was great.
piggybacking off of last week's D&D references, Oleg the Usurper is a fantastic low intelligence barbarian. Like
Yeah.
it's like he's not the brightest bulb in the shed, but he's got a ton of charisma. He's got great strength. You know, when he rages, he gets extra. Well, not when he rages, he gets extra attacks. He gets extra attacks from being a barbarian. But when he rages, he has he has advantage on strength checks, so he can take a punch. You know, when he rages, he can take a punch.
He's a
and
happy bruiser Brody.
Yes.
Well said.
For the critters out there, he's like Grog Strongjaw would be a great reference. But he's fantastic. And Proletariat Boar of Moldova playing a little bit of a cowardly heel in this, which I've never seen from him before. At least I don't know if he's done that before. He's mainly
Well,
the guy that
he is part of the United Nations with Juan Francisco de Coronado in Chikara. So they are known for their dirty scumbag rudo tactics, if you will. So the Proletariat Boar of Moldova doing this is not too much of a surprise, but Oleg taking it to him was pretty awesome. Evan, I see you nodding. What did you think of this?
Well, a barbarian myself, I have several swords, and my family likes to, engage in fisticuffs from time and again. You know, the Celtic heritage.
As you do.
So automatically, that dude was my number
I
one
would like
favorite.
to rage.
Yes, yes. But before that, I panicked a little bit because when the boar guy came out, I said, "Oh shit, they got a furry in this fucking corporation." And I thought maybe there was a convention somewhere and he got lost. And then I go to a lot of conventions because I'm a nerd. And if you'll notice, those furry suits make people sweat a lot. And oftentimes they can smell like onions. So when they pulled the onion out, I thought, oh fuck, what is this I'm watching?
By God, the power of the onion! I wrote
Yeah, it
that in my
was.
notes.
But Oleg, and also as a man who is a little overweight myself, Oleg's man boob made me feel pretty good about myself.
Yeah.
So I was good with that. I was like, way to be body positive, my man. Just let it hang out. But overall, I loved it because it went outside of the ring. They were using stuff from the fans. They used the bell. There was a couple of water bottle gimmicks which I liked. It was good, and the fact that they were using like actual, Viking things like the word Mjolnir, of course, because of the Thor movie, but just even hearing that in a normal everyday conversation to me is really cool because people are like, "What the fuck is Mjolnir?" And then they look into it, and it's like, "Hey, Vikings have crazy."
They're just
Thor
not
too."
worthy.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
exactly.
that could have definitely been on an album cover for like an old Celtic Frost metal album from the '80s, and it was just awesome. It was a great main event. It couldn't have ended any better than that.
Yeah, that would make a great album cover of just Oleg, just like with the wielding the sword.
Yeah, totally.
That will probably be a Chikara DVD cover in the not too
Yes.
distant future.
I
Something
hope
like
so.
that. Hopefully. Remy, well, what did you think of this contest, the main event?
um, I'm the same thing. I like the whole Vikings and barbarian thing, and then he also came out to Dovrak Symphony Number 9, and I was like, oh my god! And
Yeah,
but
which is
also
fantastic.
um, I laughed really hard because it's like it takes two people to carry his sword out of the
Yeah.
ring. That like that was really funny.
Yes,
So,
yes.
and I was, yeah, when I saw it was the same thing. I was like, not furry, but I was just like, but
Yeah. It's
but no,
it's
I loved it.
it's always interesting that the Boar of Moldova is able to make his costume have this like meanness to his costume when he's essentially wearing the same kind of boots that our boy the Prince of Pretty uh, wears.
Look,
Those
everyone,
furry
it's the
boots.
boar!
uh, it's the versatility of certain fashion items is what really kind of is amazing. Uh, but yeah, these guys are fantastic. I totally dig Oleg the Usurper. He's fantastic. I was a little disappointed by Proletariat Boar's off with his head attempt. Didn't quite look off with his heady enough as I've seen. But then again, it's not his move, so we can at least say that. You know what? It's not his move. He didn't
You
quite
didn't
get
get
all
all
of
of it, Michael.
it. Yeah. But yeah, the main event was pretty fun and pretty fantastic, and we had that brought the end of Excellence Professional Wrestling. Check, please. And I'll ask you guys. I'll start with you, Remy. What was your like at the end of it all? What was your thought on the show overall?
Um, I enjoyed it more than I cringed at it.
Yeah.
So, um,
More,
I liked the women's match because I think that might have been that was pretty good, and then the match with Smiley was really those were probably my two favorite, just because I'm pretty ADD, and so
yes.
if it can like make me focus and capture like my attention, then it's good. To me, it is. So, and then the main event match was pretty good too.
Yeah.
The first match was kind of, and then the one where the mixed tag, the impromptu match. I didn't I couldn't pay attention to a lot of it.
You didn't
So
hold with it.
so yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I liked it. I loved it more than I cringed. But I like watching it because it just reminds me when I go to the OSW shows and how much fan interaction. Because at the OSW shows, there's a lot of fan interaction, and then there's also Squared Circle Pro, which they actually like to pick on me in that show,
Aw.
especially if I have my septum piercing down. They'll make jokes about it, but um, I just like the atmosphere. I like how the crowd's more engaged. I like the random chats or chants. So
Yeah, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's kind of that local indie flavor. I think we poked fun at the localness of it, but there is a charm. There's a pro to it. Evan, what were your thoughts on it overall?
Overall, I'm with Remy. That was it was a lot more fun than it was suck. One thing that I really enjoyed was the commentary team. Although they had a couple of slip ups, they made some fucking awesome puns. Like one of them that came up was when they put the dude in the tree of woe. They called it the Joey Lawrence tree of whoa, and
Ah,
that
yes.
got me really good. That's like,
Classic reference that goes
yep.
all
And
the way back.
they did they made a swine flu joke after the boar drank the water bottle, and there were some really good jokes in there that I wasn't expecting. I was just kind of expecting your normal indie wrestling, like, and they put him in a body slam. Oh my god, But it was like it was funny, and all in all, there's some pretty strong personalities, and it definitely makes me want to watch a lot more Chikara for sure.
Yes, yes. Go watch Chikara. Get Chikaratopia. Just
Never
$8
enough
you can watch.
Takara.
Yes, go get Chikaratopia. You pay $8. You can all you can eat Chikara from the previous season back all the way to like the first season. You can like binge on all it. I highly recommend it. But yeah,
Thank you.
Deej, I know you had your thoughts. What is your takeaway?
I feel like, yes, there was definitely some local indie charm to this, but my own tastes and proclivities for high-level indie wrestling were kind of thrown off every now and then. There were just a few too many times where it was very, very in-house to Excellence Pro Wrestling, which I understand. Also, it was cool seeing some Chikara guys outside of Chikara. I do think Gran Akuma deserves more than what he's getting booking-wise. I think Gran Akuma deserves better than this. And overall, I'm happy to see Oleg in a main event. That was awesome.
Yes.
I love the idea of Oleg being a main eventer in Chikara, and I want to see more of that. Overall, Vanity and Diana Morazzo was probably my favorite match on the show. And there was really nothing overly bad about this show overall. It was solid, if a bit local India. Not local India, local indie.
Local Indiana. That's a different promotion. But yeah, very local indie, but it was charming and had a lot of fun. It was pretty solid. Like and the Oleg is fantastic. All the quite a few of the wrestlers were fun. And you had your ups and downs, but overall it's pretty good. Yeah, Excellence Professional Wrestling. I'm looking forward to them growing. I know that it's. I pick shows that catch my attention that I've never seen before because I want to give them a shot, and I want to catch that promotion that is about to grow. And I like that idea. Like, hey, this is a cool promotion to check out. This is something interesting going on over here and over here. Go check them out. But yeah, support your local indie promotion. Support your local indie fed. First and foremost, there's a lot of fun to be able to just you usually create like a little community. You usually meet the same people and hang out with the same people.
Yep.
I wish I had a local. I think I have a local indie promotion, but I think they do all.
You're in Florida. You could drive to NXT for God's sakes.
Uh,
I live in South Florida. I had to drive like God, I have to drive from Miami to Orlando. That's a long drive.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
I don't want to hear it. Do you know how big Texas is? It's like my friend that lives in Oklahoma lives 4.5 hours away. My friend that lives in the same state in Tyler, Texas, is 7 hours away. How does
Okay.
that make sense?
Texas is
So,
big. Everything's
yes.
bigger in Texas, including the real estate. Uh, Big old Texas. But yeah, I mean, yeah, go support your local indie promotion. If you are in the Sellersville, Pennsylvania area, and if you know what Sellersville is, you know that you're probably in it. If you know where it is, you're nearby. Go check out if you're around that area on the 12th of March. Go check out Kittens Mittens, their event that they're holding, which is a fantastic name, and I love that they named it that.
These guys are definitely friends of Chikara.
Yes. Kittens Mittens. If you want more info, check out excellenceprofessionalwrestling.com. You can also buy their shows at Smart Mark Video. Like you can buy a bunch of shows. If you don't know, you should know. It's smartmarkvideo.com. But yeah. I'll start with Remi. Remi, what do you got going on the internet?
Going on the internet? Well,
What's your Twitter?
What's your Twitter?
My Twitter? My Twitter is, I go by Remi Shell, or to make it easier, Remi Derp, because I couldn't figure out like a name. Like all the cool names were already taken, because I cosplay Remelia from Toho, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like, something cool like Remelia Scarlet or something, but no, all of those are taken. So I was like, you know what, Remi Derp.
Yes.
That's my @ on Twitter.
Yes, and it is fantastic.
And I usually chill out there. Like a lot of my stuff is I cosplay sometimes, so you'll see cosplaying things, and then whenever there's a wrestling pay-per-view going on, I'll sometimes live tweet.
Yeah.
When I'm watching, if I see something stupid or funny, I'll
Which
tweet about that.
Depending on the promotion, there's quite a lot to talk about there.
Yeah, and then I also tweet about what's going on in my life, like if I'm about my job or about what's going on in my apartment. It's all just there. So
get your Remi Shell
Remi
on.
Derp.
At Remi Derp, get your Remi Shell fix of this fantastic gal. Evan, tell us about the Offenders and what else you got on the internet.
I got a couple of plugs. The Offenders is a podcast where it's basically me and a couple of my friends. We bring in our other friends. We talk about what the fuck news and just kind of nerd culture. We make fun of each other. We make bad puns. So if any of those things are up your street, just give us a visit. wearetheoffenders.com. On YouTube, it's The Offenders Podcast. Soon to be on SoundCloud. I'm trying to upload everything over there, but we're about 60-something shows in, so there's a lot of stuff. It is offensive. We swear a lot, so don't play it at your work desk unless you got headphones. Can I get into other
my kind of?
Yeah.
That sounds like my kind of group, because I cuss a lot too. So
Yes.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. But go ahead, Evan.
I don't have a Twitter, but I have Facebook. It's facebook.com/the Tengu Ninja, TenguNinja. You can add me if you ever want to talk, hang out. I'm in a band called Another Day Above Ground. It's like positive hardcore if you like moshing and headbanging. It should definitely be right up your alley. And most importantly, if you want to support wrestling from the backyards to the big leagues, visit www.prowrestlingtees.com/BigLG. And that's it.
Yep.
For all the good brothers.
We're the good brothers, my man. Too sweet.
But yeah, Deed, I believe you have something to talk about on the internet. You're planning or putting out there something new?
I'm planning a big announcement in the next couple of days, but just in general, Delta Juliet Mike Media, where you can download and listen to Shooting the Shit with Two Nerdy Black Guys with myself and Brandon Cooper. Also, the relaunch of the anime podcast of some sort with my friend Jack Noir. And also, It's in Season, where me and the Midwest crew, Richard and Cody, are following along with the current anime season, winter 2016. And all of those are in iTunes, Stitcher Radio, anywhere else that picks up those podcast feeds. And, of course, at the mothership, DeltaJulietMike.com. And, yes, there is a thing that I might be announcing where I might ask you guys for help with stuff, because I have a lot of big plans. And that might be very, very soon.
So keep an eye out on that. DeltaJulietMike.com. At Just Call Me DJM. You can follow him on Twitter. He'll announce some of those things on there as well, like a Tribe Called Quest.
I tweet a lot. It's really
Actually,
annoying.
that's how we met. Actually, I don't know how you found my Twitter, David. So.
Yes. We can all meet together and announce the things. You can also follow the show at Fanny Pack WP. WP standing for Wrestling Podcast. So Fanny Pack WP, FannyPackWrestling.com, Rebelli TV on YouTube, and on Twitch as well, because I might do some more streaming instead of being less intermittent about it, including maybe even just the podcast. But keep an eye on that. Rebelli.net for listening to the shows. iTunes, Stitcher. Keep an eye out on everything. But that's it for us. Until next time. Hasta los huevos.
We're totally doing a really big PWG show next time, Petey.
Yes. And if I could play the music. Play the music!
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
They. Evan, Shell, thank you guys so much. That was great.
Thank you very much, man. This has been fucking great. All of you guys are awesome.
It was a lot more fun. I'm kind of shy, so I was like, I need to talk, but I started to relax little by little. So.
Right.
Yes. Sometimes you just kind of dip your toe.
It kind of hurts for the first couple of minutes, but over time, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. Deej could talk about the first times we did the show, how awkward it was, especially from me, like, because I have no faith in my charisma or my ability to speak on the fly. But
Well, I'm no Mauro Ranallo, but I think I do okay.
yes. But yeah, once you get in there, once you just make yourself do it,
You just gotta say words. That's all.
Worst thing that can happen is you look stupid, and I take care of that for everybody.
Nobody has ever looked stupid on the internet before, so it's all okay. All right, Petey, that was awesome.
All right,
Guys,
stop streaming.
thank you
Bye,
again.
Internet.